Hello everyone, how's it going? Today we're taking a look at some rare collectible moons that grant Mario or Luigi a 3-up in Super Mario World. With how well they're hidden, it's fair to say that a player may only run into a couple of these moons, leaving a good handful out there. There's a total of 7 moons out there, plus several are straight up shocking if you've never seen them before. So what does it take to find them all? Let's get right into it. Here are the 3-up moons ranked in Super Mario World. Number 7. Forest Ghost House. The ghost houses are trickier level designs in general, often with a bit of puzzling or unique navigation. This layout has a shorter hallway and some space up top. We see some things up there like booze, a dragon coin, and a door. After making our way all the way down to the right, we have to carry and use a P-switch beyond this initial yellow door, which would make you repeat this section of the level. Moving over through the coins and hitting the switch, we enter the blue door and we're transported to the space above, making our way to the left since we know a door is back over there from when we entered the level, and if we cared or remembered, there is that dragon coin a bit further, and pushing onward for that might make you wonder what else might be over here, and this is where the secret exit door is, which is obscured by the big boo when you first enter the level. You have to use both of these doors if you want credit for both exits. But most importantly, you need to take this exit with the moon behind the door. The other one does not have anything there. Overworld-wise, however, the first exit is actually the helpful one that brings you to the next level, while the second exit is totally unnecessary, as it just connects you back to Forest of Illusion 1. While the path to the moon is totally optional, design-wise it seems the most likely one a player might find during their playthrough, making it our starter of number 7 on the list. Number 6. Valley of Bowser 1. In this windy maze-like level, you'd have to wander up into one of the top paths. You'll notice the black munchers and stop, but then a Mega Mole comes your way and you may realize that you can ride him across. Moving on from there, you'll probably be tempted to jump across this gap, unless you choose to go downward. It's a modest little jump due to the lower ceiling. If you already got the blue hidden block switch from Forest of Illusion, that makes it much more forgiving. But you can make it with a later takeoff. The unforgiving part is if you miss the jump, you fall all the way down, so you'd have to care to try again. It's pretty surprising that a reward as unique as a 3-up moon is over here. As easy as this could be to slip by and miss, it's not that wild to have the urge to jump over here, and the rest are much more well hidden, making Valley of Bowser 1 number 6 on the list. Number 5. Donut Plains 4. This one is just a bit unnatural and kind of random. While not super insane because any player that is regularly deciding to try to fly with the cape or using a winged Yoshi may find this one. But if you're not normally doing that, you probably won't find this moon. The takeoff space nearby is kind of awkward too, running through hills, building up enough speed for liftoff, and you will find a nice little platform of smiley clouds with a moon waiting for you. It'd be totally understandable to miss this one if you were just playing through the level any ordinary way, you'd pass right by it. And the enemies falling from the sky may even push you to run ahead, and could be a little intimidating to try flying up into them. It's in an awkward and random part of the level, and of course it's up above, out of sight, which is why Donut Plains 4 was worthy of number 5 on the list. Number 4. Cheese Bridge Area. You know it's a pretty serious list if one of the very best and sneakiest secret exits in the game is only halfway on the list. If you know of the secret exit on Cheese Bridge Area, then this moon comes as no surprise. But that's a pretty lofty assumption since it's one of the best hidden secrets in the game, where you need to either fly underneath the finishing goalposts or bring Yoshi all the way to the end and sacrifice him for the additional jump. Finding and taking this exit is what allows you to continue to Soda Lake. The moon comes along with the secret exit and doesn't have its own special hidden location, but it is in a well-hidden place. This is one of the most clever secrets in the game, though these next few are so surprising and random and not on the way with any exits, making Cheese Bridge Area number 4 on the list. Number 3. Vanilla Dome 3. In the caves of Vanilla Dome, we find another moon tucked away up high in much less than an obvious part of the level. There ends up being a few rewards up high actually, but the slower pace of the Skull Lava ride may just have the player anxious to keep it moving forward once they're on land. After riding by some blargs, you get to an area that's just long enough to take off with the cape if you happen to have it and get that idea. Doing that here toward the left will bring you up to a nook with this moon nicely perched on some stones. When you're moving on by naturally, it's hard to imagine that you're missing anything, making it through some obstacles, moving right along to the next lava floating section. But Vanilla Dome 3 has some secrets up in the corners in this area. In addition to the moon up on the left, there's another secret across the way, a warp pipe that leads to a bonus game for more lives. Plus there's even a 6th dragon coin location up high in Vanilla Dome 3. Overall, it's a really cool moon location in a level that highly rewards exploration in the few rare chances you get. It's well hidden, memorable, and the charming bonus that comes alongside it, just across the way, Vanilla Dome 3 is easily worthy of number 3 on the list. Number 2. Yoshi's Island 1. First level of the game. Well, one of the first levels. Famously, you start out with 2 choices in Super Mario World at a junction. But anyway, this level to the left is Yoshi's Island 1. So, in the entire first world, power-up wise, there's just mushrooms and fire flowers. The cape isn't reached until those Super Koopas in Donut Plains 1 of the second world. When you play through the first world, and specifically this stage, it's pretty grounded since you can't fly and there's no Yoshi here either to lend a boost. When you move on through the first castle to the second world, it's pretty darn unlikely to start playing these levels with the cape and then decide to turn around and try using it on earlier levels. I could see going back to the first world to enjoy its music for a little bit, but probably not to go play Yoshi's Island 1 with the cape just to take to the skies. But if that's what you do at this point in the stage, you will find the moon for a 3-up. It's just super interesting that you'd have to backtrack with a power-up found later, or with Yoshi if you knew exactly where to go to get this moon. Coming back to fly around and actually find something like this is pretty crazy. This backtrack was enough to really make me consider it as number 1, but there's just one more bizarre lever you have to pull to get this last moon to show up, making Yoshi's Island 1 a strong number 2 on the list. Alright, here we are at the top of the list. Number 1, Chocolate Island 1. With every single one of these moons being visible if you're running or flying by the right spot to look for them, Chocolate Island 1 poses a serious problem. If you were to go on a hunt for all the secrets, and went to search by practical means like your first run is on the ground level, you'd proceed on foot and check every tube to ensure you're not missing one down below, then on your second search, checking the top half of the level with continued flight through the sky, and winding up with a totally reasonable conclusion there must not be a moon on Chocolate Island 1. We've searched head to toe and we didn't see one anywhere. But the moon here requires a specific move on the ground level in order to find one in the sky. If you happen to take flight at a pretty weird spot in the level, it doesn't exactly scream take off for flight with the landscape and fire-breathing dinos running around, but this is exactly what you have to do. Use this yellow pipe to shoot across first, which by the way, it's unnecessary to cross this gap in the first place, but you have to use it in order to see the moon later in the sky if you just so happen to have a cape and decide to take off right here. Not to mention, there's mostly fire flowers on this level. This is just a scary sneaky one. It's weirdly picky, and the required use of a tube on the ground for something to show up above was enough to push Chocolate Island 1 to number 1 well-hidden moon on the list. But that's just what I found. What are your favorite moon locations? Or how about your favorite secrets? Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.